What's up guys, this is a simple tutorial how to refresh your Jackson Racing supercharger or any Eaton style supercharger. Here are some of the parts you're going to need for this service. 8 ounces of the GM supercharger oil. AC Delco sells the same brand. Also you want to grab yourself some Permatex gasket maker. These blowers are notorious for leaking. From the factory they don't use any except for the threads. Next you're going to need the supercharger coupler. This eliminates all the rattling you hear in idle. With the blower off the car, you want to grab a 13/16 Allen wrench and unscrew the filter hole. I poured it into a water bottle, that way I can measure how much fluid was left. It was a little short, about maybe 3 ounces. Using a 10mm socket, I removed the bolts holding the blower together. There's two 12mm head bolts that hold the support bracket if you have a Jackson Racing supercharger. I didn't have a pry bar to pry the casing apart, so I used some flathead screwdrivers and carefully pried in between to separate the two halves. Here's the supercharger coupler that causes all the noise at idle. It's plastic, and those holes in the middle get worn out and become oblong. It doesn't have to wear out that much before it starts to rattle around. Here's the Dorman brand supercharger coupler. The overall diameter and thickness is increased. It has a flat surface instead of those 3 rings you see on the right. To install the supercharger coupler, it just slides onto the 3 prongs onto the blower side. The remaining holes slide into the nose side. I'm just using throttle body cleaner to clean out the blower internals. Also, I sprayed some on a damp rag and it wipes down the blower blades. On the description it says it's safe for paint surfaces, so it should be safe for the Teflon. Like before, I carefully slid a screwdriver in between the blower to separate the 2 halves. That way I can extract the blower blades and grease the bearings and clean the rest of the casing. I'm using some high temp lithium grease to grease the bearings inside the supercharger. Next, apply a thin layer of gasket maker around the blower. You want to make sure you get good coverage around the threaded holes. Finally, you want to put everything back together the same way you took it apart. You want to use a torque wrench to torque down the bolts to about 18 to 20 pounds for each of those 10mm head bolts. Don't forget to wipe down the excess gasket maker that squeezes out of the supercharger case after you torque down the bolts. The last thing you need to do is fill in the supercharger oil. I use 2 bottles of the GM stuff. It's about 4 ounces per bottle. It should come up to the bottom half of the supercharger fill hole. Once it starts oozing out, that's enough, and just top it off and screw it back in tight. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means a lot to this channel.